What's up, besties, and welcome to a special little mini episode of the Not So Berry Challenge. After last episode, where things went a little bit crazy, our main sim Eclipse gave birth to an alien child, of which she got pregnant via abduction. Our romantic partner Anaya is also very heavily pregnant, which accidentally happened due to my MC Command Center risky woohoo mod. Their first woohoo together, and they end up pregnant. So Anaya is in her third trimester about to give birth. We are basically out of space in this current house that we have. So Anaya brought with her 20,000 simoleons when she moved in, and I think it's time for us to use it and completely rebuild this house and make some space for the menagerie of children we're about to have. Anyway, let's just dive in and get started, and I'll show you what I managed to do. So the first thing that I did was basically just put every single thing that I own into our household inventory. We have a lot of money, but we do not have enough money to be fully rebuying all of our furniture. So I saved every single item that we have, and then I basically just flatten the place. Yeah, I saved everything, all our plants, everything, all our collectibles. I kept the element rack out the front because I didn't want to put that into our household inventory, because I knew that if I did that, all of the elements would come out of the rack, and then I would have to individually place each one onto the floor and then drag it back into the element rack, and that's just way too much effort for me. So I just put it out the front with the alien baby. So they're just chilling for a minute whilst we build a house for them to go back into. So you can see straight away that it's already bigger, but I decided to go 2-story. The lot that we're on is not huge. So, it's definitely not one of the biggest that comes in Oasis Springs, but I didn't want to move lots. I actually quite like the space that we're living on, and I think it's a nice little situation as far as, the surroundings and stuff. There's a nice little fishing spot, like literally just down the hill. It's just sweet, Oh, and also that minty colored dinosaur that's in the background. We can't lose them. They're just too fitting for the mint generation. So I'm still keeping with that mid-century sort of modern vibe that I had going with the original house. But yeah, we're just definitely expanding. I end up using a lot of these like breeze block windows. I thought that they were a really, really nice addition to add to that mid-century kind of vibe. Things I still needed to have were the greenhouse, and we needed at least 3 bedrooms for now. We need 1 bedroom for Eclipse and Anaya, and then 2 more bedrooms for the 2 children that are coming. And who knows what the future will hold? We may even need more. I managed to get an office downstairs, but that could potentially become another bedroom if it needs to. I'm not thinking about having any more children with these 2 anytime soon, though, because lordy, too much. Too many children all at once. But yeah, so this is quite a bit bigger than we had last time. But yeah, I really like where it ends up. I utilized the platforms instead of the foundation, because I just really like the extra bit of creativity that you can have with the platforms. Obviously, platforms are a bit glitchy, so you kind of take your life into your hands when you decide to use them. But I was willing to brave it because I had a vision in mind, the steps that I used out the front, they're kind of asymmetrical, and that sort of stuff that you can't achieve if you just use the basic foundation tool. So yeah, I committed to it, and I think it turned out pretty well. I'm pretty happy with it. I'm trying to work out color right now. I started off with this real dark wood kind of color as an accent for the the columns and stuff. I was originally thinking I would do this sort of reddy wood, but then I remembered obviously this is the mint generation, and I still wanted to get some of that into the exterior. Last time I had a mint colored sort of plaster going, and I definitely wanted to have that again in this build. So I needed to work out how I was going to pull that off. Yeah, so I turn everything back to white for now after I sort of remembered that, and I'm like, we'll just keep it white for now and we'll go from there. I think I end up making everything black windows, black columns and stuff. If I remember correctly, I think that's what I end up going with. Yeah, so I'm working on the greenhouse right now. I'm looking at window solutions. Now, I decided to leave the back wall with no windows. But I did a full, like, it basically looks like a wraparound of windows because it's like windows up one side and then the angled roof is fully glass and then a whole nother wall of windows. And I really like the way that it turned out. What I would absolutely love is if we had some angled windows. Like I know we have a couple, like we have sort of those triangle shaped windows, but they only fit very specific roof angles. I would love to have like a angled, like a right angled triangle shaped window in the Sims, so that like we could put one. I could, so that I could have put windows on the other wall. Do you know what I mean? It's hard to explain, but I just think that is something that the game is really missing is the like more angled windows because I think in modern builds different shaped windows like that it's so common now, and I think it's quite a restriction that us fellow simmers face when we're trying to build, particularly modern builds. I know it's hard to do as well because obviously you can't make a singular window to fit every single angled roof. So I get why we don't have them, but it's just a shame, you know? Anyway, we're inside now trying to work out some other windows and working out a floor plan. Yeah, because I played around with the platforms on the exterior, I also messed with the levels a lot inside as well, which I'm quite happy with how it turned out. I think it works quite well. Here you can see me, I'm starting to put flooring and stuff down. I'm just putting like a basic flooring at the moment because I was starting to run low on money and I needed to make sure that I at least paid for the flooring and the wallpaper before I did anything else because I didn't want to get I didn't want to get to a point in the build where I had no money left and I still had no wallpaper on anything. So yeah, I bought all the flooring. I do think I might change. I can't remember. I think I do change the actual flooring that I end up using, but it's nice to do anyway. Like if you are on a tight budget, that is something that I recommend is just putting down any flooring and any wallpaper, even if it's like the most hideous like color ever. Just grab something, put it down and put it on the walls just so that you've then paid for it. Because if you then change the wallpaper later in the game, it doesn't charge you. As long as you buy another wallpaper that's the same price as the one that you bought originally, it won't cost you any extra to finally change the colors to what you want. So yeah, that is definitely a recommendation that I make to to yeah, just buy it so it's paid for and then you can go back and change it later to the actual colors that you want. Okay. So I have the floor plan sorted for upstairs as well. I did only manage to get the 3 bedrooms, but they are big bedrooms. So I'm not adverse in the future as well to if we do maybe have more children, I'm not adverse to them sharing bedrooms because I am going to theme all of the children in the rose red color theme anyway. So like I'm really not that concerned about them sharing bedrooms or anything like that. I don't really know which of our children will be the heir for next generation either. Like I haven't thought about any of that. So yeah, I'm working out the wallpaper for the exterior now. I start from the beginning and actually just buy what I wanted to for the exterior because I had a vision in mind of how I wanted it to look, and I wanted to use a lot of timber and a little bit of stone as well. I use this very, I guess, it's a very common sort of mid-century style stone that I use, but I think it works really well. Okay, so now I am working on the front yard. Now, I decided to go for this sort of Palm Springs kind of vibe with like the gravel and like the stepping stones and the succulents and cactuses and stuff. I thought it matched really well in Oasis Springs. I kind of get a Palm Springs kind of vibe from Oasis Springs anyway, so I think it works quite well. We're back inside working on the greenhouse area. So this greenhouse is a little bit smaller than the one I had before, and it also has like an extra sort of element to it with the 2 height differences. But I think it works quite well. I quite like it. It doesn't need to be huge. It just needs to be enough to house the plants that I need, which it's more than enough to do that. So I'm quite happy with that. I bring some of those breeze blocks inside as well to separate the greenhouse and the main living space. Again, I'm really happy with how this turned out. This is definitely, I definitely managed to achieve what I wanted. I'm starting to bring out the furniture that I had already owned previously and finding spaces for it. Gone in with the kitchen. So I've brought back out what I originally owned. Plus I had a bit of money to buy a couple of extra benchtop pieces as well. Moving into the office, this is basically where I bought in all of Eclipse's random scientist things that she has. She just has all these random unlockable things that she's gotten gifted as like career rewards. So yeah, they're all just chilling in her office right now. It's kind of random, but it's also kind of funny. I kind of like it. So we've just gone with that. We bought her element rack back inside. Yeah, I'm unpacking all of the pet stuff as well. Obviously, I didn't really have enough money to buy any extra furniture. So basically, I bought like an extra rug or something like not basically nothing. But again, we have like the shape down. So as we get a bit more money from work, I can, furnish a bit more of the rooms. But yeah, we definitely have the vibe down and we have much more space for our growing family. And it is growing fast. This renovation was definitely necessary. So just literally unpacking all of the furniture that I previously owned, finding new spaces for it. Yeah, I really like it. I really like how this house turned out. I think it's really fun. Just it's a little bit quirky, which I think matches Eclipse perfectly, but it still has that mid-century modern vibe, so it matches the rest of, Oasis Springs, and I think it really matches this family as well, and I really like it. Yeah, this is one of the one of the only things I purchased was an extra rug, and I'm just going around now making sure all the walls are painted, and now we're working on some landscaping. So I have this sort of weird shaped front yard. Now I went into debug and I ended up pulling out a bunch of rocks. Now the reason I went into debug to get the rocks, they're the same as the ones that you can get in the catalog, but the ones in the catalog cost 20 simoleons each. The ones in debug only cost 4 simoleons each, and I think in particular I used the ones that are in the life and death debug. They're the same as like the base game ones, but so much cheaper. And you can see why I needed them to be cheaper, because I actually went around and used them as a path barrier, and I used that to sort of cover up the edge of the gravel, because instead of using terrain paint, I used the actual gravel flooring. So I used the rocks to cover up the border of that so that it looked a bit more organic. And I definitely think I pulled it off. I'm quite happy with how it looks, and I really think it goes with that kind of Palm Springs vibe. But this was this was a little bit time consuming placing all these rocks, but definitely worth it, I think. And then basically once I get all these rocks placed, I end up just putting in some plants. I do a lot of cactuses and just succulent type plants. Again, these are from Debug. I kind of wanted to cheat because I wanted to have it that I buy a couple of them. So a couple of them I buy from the catalog, but mostly I use the debug landscaping, just because I know I should pay for it and it's kind of cheaty that I don't pay for it, but I want it to look good. Like, even if the interior of the house is unfinished because of budget, I still wanted the exterior to look good, because I put all this effort into the exterior build of the building that it kind of looks bare and unfinished if you don't add some landscaping to it. So I did cheat a little bit and, did debug landscaping. I also used the base game debug stepping stones. I put them on top of the gravel as well. I'm really happy with actually with how that bit turned out. I think it's what I envisioned. I may eventually update the plants to be the ones that you have to pay for, but I also might not. We'll see. I really like it, and yeah, you can tell obviously there is still a lot to do with this house. There's a lot of empty rooms. The bedrooms upstairs I basically didn't touch at all. I changed the wallpaper color in our alien baby's room to this nice red color, because obviously the next generation is the Rose generation. So the bedrooms are going to be themed red, but yeah, there is still a lot to finish. I ran out of money and I wanted to paint the ceilings, but I didn't have enough money to do that. So this is the finished product for now. A lot of work to do, but hopefully you like it. Yeah, all that's left to do now is to actually play the game in it, and I'm excited to do that next episode. Hope you like the build. Let me know any suggestions or feedback down below that you have. More than happy to hear your thoughts. So please comment down below. If you like this video or if you like my content, make sure to hit that subscribe button so that you can stay up to date with all the things that I post. Lots of fun going on this channel at the moment. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Bye bye.